Hey guys, this is Anastasia Autumnfire, and this is week 16 of the YTpaganchallenge Challenge. This week's subject is what are some spiritual practices or rituals that you do regularly. I'm actually going to split this video into a two-parter. This first part is me just explaining the background and the intent of my ritual that I'm going to share later, and then later I will actually do the ritual and let you see that. So, I am in my car, so if you see me checking out the sides and stuff, that's why. With this video, I kind of hemmed and hawed. I wasn't sure what to share. Tomorrow's the full moon, so I thought, okay, well, I can share what I do on the full moon, but that gets to be kind of private, and I wasn't sure about that, and there were a couple things that were kind of in my head. And then today, as you may or may not know, Prince died. And admittingly, that seems a bit silly for me to go to pieces about. I am from Minneapolis, so we do have a bit of a soft spot in our hearts for him. But for me especially, he surpassed a musician. Never met him, but my father and I have had a difficult relationship in the past. Even to this day, I would say strained is a word a lot of people would use. Us, it works. It's not anything I think that we look at and freak out about, or, oh my gosh, what are we doing? Sorry. It is what it is for us, and it works. It's okay. But during those difficult times, music has always been our connector. And Bowie is a thing, and Queen, huge thing. Cat Stevens. Sorry, I thought someone was banging on my car. But yeah, Prince topped it. Prince was our constant. When I was a kid, he didn't see me much, and we would just drive and talk, and I am really sorry. We would drive and we would talk, and we would spend all this time just hanging out in the car and listening to Prince and singing. The only vacation I've ever been on with my dad, he and my grandpa Ray, we went on a road trip from Minneapolis, Minnesota to Orlando, Florida to go to Disney World, and the entire way we listened to Prince, and I'm pretty sure Grandpa Ray was ready to chuck all of those tapes, but he let us listen to them, and it was awesome. It was a great memory. And I think you can look at Prince and you can go off on how amazing of a musician he was. And he was. I mean, he was a genius. Yes, perhaps a Fruit Loop, but a genius. When it came to music, he was an expert at, who knows how many instruments. The number that I see most quoted is like 165 instruments. I can sing. That's all I got. I don't know how to play anything. You have a person who was writing, producing, and playing all the music on his songs when he was like 15 or 16 years old, professionally. Like, he was on Bandstand when he was 16 years old, dude. Serious? Maybe a little older. But, I think he got his first record deal when he was 16, which may not be a big thing now in boy band days, but back then it was awesome. And he wrote about things. He wrote about substance. Like, yes, he wrote about religion, even though it's perhaps not my cup of tea, perhaps my path. He wrote about religion and faith at a time when you didn't do that. You couldn't say God's name on the radio. And he did. And even if, you know, my views on religion are different than, you know, what Let's Go Crazy was talking about. Let's Go Crazy is a pretty genius way of talking about the Christian views of God and the devil, and not feeding into the chaos that the Christian devil rot brings with him. You know, I don't know. I'm ranting. My point is, you have to, yes, you have to look at him and just say, wow, he was an incredible musician and an incredible artist. But for me, it transcended to a different level, and still transcends to a different level, because of his music, I was able to have a connection to my dad, and I'm still able to have a connection to my dad that I might not have had without it. And I realize that kind of sounds a bit flowery and a bit kind of la-la or whatever, or a bit, seriously, Chick, you're being a bit dramatic. But I don't know how else to phrase it. It is the truth. It is the honest to goodness truth. That is what it is. So yeah, him dying today was an issue. It was a thing. And I have a ritual where every time someone dies, I light a candle. I have different candles for different occasions and different deaths, which sounds really morbid, but with a bunch of death deities that I'm working with, it's a thing. So I thought that will be the ritual that I share with you guys for this week's YouTube Pagan Challenge. I wanted to share something that was meaningful and had a very, very strong place in my practice and in my heart. Again, with the flowery depictions, but it is what it is. But I also understand there are some things that are perhaps a bit secret and perhaps a bit too personal to share. And this is pretty borderline, but I feel good with this. I was thinking about it on the way home. The radio stations are playing nonstop Prince, which makes me so happy. And it's been raining on and off all day in Minneapolis, which is also kind of why I'm out in the car, because I love listening to the rain, and seeing it around me is just kind of awesome. But I saw a huge, enormous rainbow driving home and parking in the parking lot, and I kind of took that as my, yeah, go for it. So I am. So that is what I'm going to share with you tonight. I wanted to do this video to kind of give you a background as to why this is such a big thing for me. I started this practice actually with the death of one of my friends. I created a candle called the Guiding Light Candle, because you know me, I like naming everything. So I light that candle whenever someone dies abruptly, or in an accident, or is violently killed. My friend in question, he had committed suicide. So anytime there's that chance that the energy or soul might not understand what just happened, I like lighting this candle to maybe help show them the way. Then if someone dies in my family, or close friends, I call it my ancestor candle, but it really connects to kind of the idea of a clan, because it's your family, but it's also your close friends. It's more than just blood. Blood is extremely important and is so huge, but in modern times, your clan becomes also dear friends. I have so many friends where maybe they're not that great with their family, I'm sorry, I keep rubbing my nose. But their friends are stronger than any family bond that they have. So their friends are their clan, they are their family. And I have that candle that I light to kind of open the fold to that new soul that's coming in. Then the candle which I'll be lighting tonight is when it's someone who passes on that maybe I don't know. It's someone on Facebook posts that they lost their mom. I'll light this candle. A celebrity that I feel very drawn to. When Bowie died, I lit this candle. What I do is I have my candle to represent fire. I usually use a stone or a flower of some sort to represent earth. I've got incense for air, and then I have a seashell, water, or mirror for water. And then I call to the four corners and ask that the guardians of the elements aid this energy, aid the soul in finding their peace, but also aid those left behind that are feeling that grief, feeling that loss, also find peace. And you'll kind of see tonight, but I wanted to give a rundown, a background, and just kind of fill in the blanks a little bit in case I miss something tonight while I'm in the ritual. So this is part 1. I hope it makes sense and wasn't too rambly and wasn't too emotional. Thanks for watching.